Guys, hello and welcome to Sea Friendly Reef. Today we are visiting one of my favorite shops in Germany. Next to me is my friend Tim. He is the person who do the maintenance of nearly everything we are going to see here. We have a freshwater part, but we are going to focus, of course, on the saltwater aquariums we can find here. We did a lot of stuff together already. We have the stadium tank, maybe some of you have already seen it. We have got the beginner project. A lot of fish in my tank are also from that shop here. So if you are in Germany, feel free to visit Unter-Wasser Freiburg. It's worth it. But today I just want to show you some of the animals we can find here, some of the show tanks, and yeah, maybe what we can also find. First tank is our low budget project.
So this tank is basically concepted as a beginner tank to make the entrance into the hobby really easy. We just went for like a simple glass tank without a sump. We only have internal filtration, internal protein skimmer, really cheap lighting. Another thing special about this tank is that we only went with tank-bred fishes and only tank-bred corals. Nearly nothing in here is wild caught except some snails and some hermit crabs, but everything else is tank-bred. So really modern way to start a reef tank, really easy way, simple softies, simple gorgonians. Really nice and easy tank that has been up now for over a year. It's doing really well. We're really happy with it and it shows how easy a saltwater tank can be.
And we calculated that project, as I already said, as a low budget project. So that tank costs around about 1,000 euros. So you can say around about $1,000. Very important because I think also you are already get the question how much I have to spend for a reef tank. So guys, every equipment part was new for around about $1,000.
And around $50 maintenance cost monthly, which is also not a lot of money to have a really nice tank and a really nice hobby.
Absolutely. Tank number 1 is done, and here I see a Red Sea complete system. It is the Red Sea Reefer
300. This tank has been up and running now for around 3 years. We went with a really nice mixture of corals, mainly softies, a lot of ceranthids. We have some LPS in there, some torches, a little bit of SPS in the back. Really nice, simple tank with a lot of coral, a lot of different colors and shapes. Something you can put in your living room and enjoy.
We have a lot of viewers around the world, so not only from Germany, of course. What would you say, what is the typical way to set up a reef tank here in Germany?
So actually in Germany, most of the people go for like the system tanks of different brands. Might it be Red Sea or other ones. Waterbox is also a big brand for that. And it's just nice to have a clean setup, to have a nice cabinet, to have a nice tank, to have like something all in one, which looks cool, which is easy to put together. You don't have to do a lot of planning, you don't have to do the plumbing yourself. So you just buy it, you set it up, and you can have a really nice, cool looking tank that's really high end, that's enjoyable. And that's something we wanted to show in our shop. That's something you can do at home. If you're a little bit more experienced, then you can go for something like that.
I think some of you already know a lot of tanks here in Germany from my channel, but of course this is not the normal reef tank way here in Germany, so I pick the special ones for you out. And I also agree with Tim that most of the people here in Germany are taking these complete sets, me included, as a beginner. So it's definitely worth it to not do everything specialized in that way, because of course that's much more expensive. And now, oh Tim, I think my favorite tank here.
Yeah, it's also my favorite. It's my little brainchild. What we have here is a really cool New Wave tank, done by New Wave Concept. It's a stadium tank, so you have a 360-degree look-around tank with no corners at all. Really thick acrylic glass, so we don't have an edge on there or rim. So it's rimless, and I didn't want to go for like something usual. I wanted to do something really cool, something that nearly nobody else did before. So I did a tank that is a combination of a high-end LPS tank and on the other side like a biotope saltwater tank, and it's done pretty well. We have on the on-side we have like standard LPS in here, like really nice micromusas, acans, a symphilia, a little bit of euphilia, which is pretty basic but nice colors. But on the other hand, we also went for something a little more out of the box. We have some NPS gorgonians in here with really nice colors. They're doing really well, especially spirals here are really nice. They're also growing. And also we have like a biotope in here. We have not only coral, but we have sea squirts, we have tube worms, we have different oysters in here actually that are filter feeders. Also a lot of little critters in here, small shrimp, small nano gobies. We have a small possum wrasse in here that is strolling around the tank.
I think the people cannot imagine how many clams we both put into that tank. What do you guess, around about 10?
Yeah, something like that.
And
like
big
that,
ones.
Yeah.
I mean, that one here, maybe you can show us.
That cluster here is actually not a rock, it's a whole, it's actually a combination of two different oysters. We have a small clam down here, we have small spiny oyster here, we have a pearl oyster here, we have another oyster right here. We have some really nice macroalgae that actually help filter this tank, because that tank is actually only running on a mechanical filtration. We don't have a protein skimmer in here. All the nutrient export is actually via different macroalgae like caulerpas. We have a nice dragon's breath in here, which is really working fine. The feeding in here is really special because we almost exclusively feed with live Artemia, with freshly hatched Artemia in here.
For the NPS or also for the clams?
Actually for everything in here.
Okay.
For the filter feeders, for the small gobies, we have several trimmers in here, we have eviotas in here, we have a small pipefish in here that loves the small Artemia. And also the LPS really thrive on that because they can catch it all the time. And because of the special round shape, it's also really easy to keep these live Artemia in the water column, and the corals and the filter feeders have a lot of time to eat them. It's working really well. We do supplement with a little bit of frozen food for the bigger fish, but the main feeding in here is actually with live food, and it's working really well. The corals are growing nicely, even the sea squirts are doing fine. We have nice tube worms that are doing fine, and the gorgonians are really, really nice. So it's really wonderful tank, something really out of the box. No sump on here actually, it's just a small filter unit on top with a little bit of mechanical filtration, a little bit of activated carbon, and that's it. Small TUNZE pump for the flow. So pretty simple tank, but it's really working nice. It's a piece of art in my opinion.
Guys, please write down what you think about that tank, because I definitely love it. But we also can find some special animals here, especially in the nano topic. So you are focused on that type of animals, on that type of fish. And next to it, I see a algae category tank. Let's have a look.
We actually have something that's also pretty unusual for a shop to have, because usually you have like the fish systems and you have the coral systems, that's it. What we have here is a special system that's mostly dedicated to macroalgae on the one hand, and also stuff like really nice tube worms. We have nice gorgonians up here. Also the shrimp fish are really, really cool. Something you don't see that often. This system is mainly preserved for like things that are out of the box, like the macroalgae. Try to get everything we can and sell it to people that they can do something beside coral tanks, and actually do a little bit more of biotope tanks with a little bit more macroalgae. Also we tend to have special fish in here. We have a nice firefish down here, which is now called the lavandula.
Also some sponges.
Yeah, sponges in here. We have tube worm colonies. If we have oysters, we will also put them in here on the system, really to show that you can do something else beside coral with your reef tank. And I think that's really cool to have a little bit more variety in the tank.
High five. Okay, let's talk about fish.
And especially me, I'm really fan of like really small fish for nano tanks or even for bigger tanks, but like you do with a lot of small fish. And we try to get our hands on as many different species as we can. So in here we have nearly every trimmer and biota goby available. We have small shrimp gobies, we have small plannies, we have small dragonets. So basically all fish that are below 5 centimeters or like 2 inches, I think it's in retard units.
hard for the Germans, yeah.
Yeah. And also we have a lot of different tiny shrimp like these Urocaridella shrimp. We have different anemone shrimps, anemone crabs too, which is also a really nice small crab for nano tanks or even bigger tanks because they are docile, they filter feed. So really, really cool. That's our section for like really small fish, for small tanks, for big tanks, as you like. But fish that are, in my opinion, a little bit underrepresented in the hobby because people tend to go for like the bigger fish. And I think like something like this trimmer goby is beautiful as a tank, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look at those colors, it's just beautiful.
I agree.
Also, you've seen the Discordipina goby, the Chrysanthemum.
Yeah,
flamenco goby, this one's just crazy. Such a crazy fish.
Let's talk about reefing in 5 years. What do you think? Will it be like now, or will animals like that, which are a little bit smaller, find more ways into our hobby?
I hope so, that people go for like not smaller tanks, but smaller fish in their tanks. More fish, more diversity, like a really small ecosystem, really, not just a coral tank with some beautiful, colorful fish in there, but really like a small ecosystem where you can always find something new in there. I think that's really something that stands out if you have a tank where you can sit in front of it for hours and still find something new that's going on in there. And another thing that is really special with our shop, which I'm really proud of, is that we have a whole block here which is only tank bred fish. None of these fish in here are actually wild caught, they're all tank bred. We have different varieties of tank bred angels like this goldflake angel. We have a zebra angel, which is really, really nice to have that one as a tank bred. We have, of course, different clownfish. We have the firefish. We have small damsels in here, the caudernies, which is a staple in the hobby for years. And we try to get our hands on everything that is available in Europe tank bred, because I think, and we also think in our shop, that's the future of the hobby, to go as much as you can on tank bred fish, because they're more stable, they don't have to be caught in the nature. So we really try to give our customers a big variety of fish that are tank bred, so you don't have to pick a wild caught one.
And of course, here in the Unter-Wasser Freiburg, the German Unter-Wasser Freiburg, we find...
It's actually underwater translated to English.
Yeah, okay. We also find some corals, of course, also bred corals.
Yeah, we have like a pretty basic coral systems, 2 different systems, one with a little bit lower nutrients, one with higher nutrients for like more softies and mushroom corals. We are not really focused on like expensive corals or special corals. We tend more to look out to take corals like that are regional, even bred in Germany, most of them. Because I think that's really important to work together with local coral hatcheries or even private people who have a nice tank, a nice coral, who frag them regularly. But most of our corals haven't traveled really far, so that's also a nice thing that we focus on that. We also will provide sometimes some really nice corals, some specialties, but our strength is more in the fish and also in something like the macroalgae stuff you usually don't get in other shops. We are actually not exclusively a marine shop, we are actually 50-50. We also have a big freshwater section, which might not be that interesting to you, but we also try to provide our customers with a lot of rarities in the freshwater section, which is also not that common. We have divided our freshwater section into different continents, so if you want to do a biotope tank, it's really easy to do here because you already see on the first look which fish actually come from the same area.
Ah, okay, I understand. Yeah. What is your favorite now? Show us your favorite animal in that part of the shop.
In the freshwater?
Yes.
Oh. Not in here that much, I'm usually more the saltwater guy. Let's check if we have something. Usually I'm really a big fan of cories. So corridors. Ah, I know. It's a nerdy fish.
It just looks like the typical ones you have in freshwater tanks. I think this was one of my first fish.
It's definitely not. So
really? Okay.
It's similar, but it's really something special, but you have to be a kind of a nerd. It's called Oxyropsis rutiana. It's
you mean that one, isn't it?
Yeah, on the leaf, yeah.
And not the thinner ones.
No, actually the one on
That
the Reef.
one.
Yeah, it's usually actually that one is closely related to another fish which is really common in the hobby. I don't know the English name right now. I'm not that fit with the freshwater English names, but that's actually a variety of this fish that gets a lot bigger, like triple the size, and I just think they're cool. I like those fish.
So
I don't know why. Actually, in the
that.
freshwater, I'm a fan of like less colorful fish. Also, one of my favorites is like the pygmy cories. I think they're just super cute.
Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thank you, Tim, for inviting us today. We are going to have a closer look at the stadium tank on our German channel, but for me it was very cool to also give you here at Sea Friendly Reef a little overview about the shops here in Germany. And yeah, feel free to write down in the comments what you are thinking about it. We are going to see us again here on that channel. Have a great time.
Bye.